Hey and welcome back. We are on day 2 of our 16 Days of Activism video series, and today I'm going to be talking to you about 2 things that I always make sure I say or don't say if a woman tells me that she is being abused. And so the first one is about reporting, and the second one is about where I would suggest she went for help. And this is born out of my own trauma informed work and anti-pathology work. So let's talk about reporting first. I suppose my first thing is that much earlier in my career, the message that was always given is that if somebody discloses to you, you sort of say to them, you should go to the police. And I'm sure there are lots of professionals that believe that we should be encouraging women and girls to go to the police, but I've definitely moved away from that. And I don't think I'll ever go back to that sort of advice. Instead, my way of approaching it, and you might want to adopt this, is to actually just say to a woman, if you want to report, I'm absolutely there and I'll support you. But equally, if you do not want to report, I'm absolutely there and I will support you. I think that our justice system is toxic. It is dangerous. It can put you at a lot of risk. It is really re-traumatizing. And so I wouldn't ever want to make a woman or a girl feel like she had an obligation to report. I also steer clear of anything around, you should report him because what if he does it to somebody else and you didn't say anything? I hate that blackmail, that guilting, that it's just not for me, not something that I would want to have any part in, to be honest. So yeah, I suppose I'm really quite neutral in that if a woman was to say to me, yep, I've thought about it, I absolutely do want to report to the police, I'd be like, okay, fine, let's look at it and I'll support you in whatever way I can, and let's be realistic and get you ready for this process because it's not easy. Equally, if the woman said, absolutely not, I'm not interested in reporting, it's too scary, I don't want to engage, I don't want to go to court, I don't want to go through a police investigation, I would still be the same way. I'd be like, absolutely, totally agree, totally understand. However I can support you outside of that, fine. The second one then is about where I would refer a woman to support. And the thing, again, much earlier in my career, it was very much like, have you spoken to your GP? You should go to your GP. That's not something that I would say ever anymore. I don't suggest mental health services and I don't suggest a GP. They're not the right people. Being subjected to abuse is not a mental health issue, and it's also not a medical problem. It's another example of where systems have almost like fallen into a role that they don't actually fit. So for me, I would be saying to them, first of all, do you want any support, and what kind of support do you want? You know, do you want it to be anonymous? Do you want it to be online? Do you want actual therapy, or do you want something a lot more sort of peer-based or mentoring-based? Like, everybody wants something different, and for some people they're not ready at all for that level of intervention or support, and so we've got to be guided by what each person actually needs and wants. I tend to avoid GPs and mental health services and psychiatrists and psychologists as somewhere to direct someone, because the pathologization risk is so high, especially if you were sexually abused in childhood. The likelihood of somebody sitting you down and being like, I think you have a personality disorder, you need to take these pills, you need to be referred to the mental health team, you need to be doing this, doing that. I wouldn't want someone who's been subjected to abuse or violence or trauma to suddenly find themselves in a situation where someone's suggesting they're mentally ill because of my referral and because of me signposting them. So those are the 2 things I always make sure that I do, you know. And if somebody is asking for support and they're not sure what they would like, I often just explore every possibility and then see what works for them.